What's going on, Legion of Zen? Today we're going to be getting into 2 boxes of graded cards that were returned to me. Now, I basically sent out some 5 cards over to a company called Degree Grading, and Degree graded the cards, sent them to me, had no idea who I was. I was just a regular paying customer, and I got that return. Now, I did actually open that box, and I made a video on it. However, I had some health issues and I was unable to edit that video. And it turns out that during the time I was having some health issues, they reached out to me and they emailed me and said, "Hey, Zen, would you like to do a video with us, a collaboration? Basically, we will go ahead and grade 5 of your cards for free and you can make a video out of it." And I said, "That sounds great, but I like to be 100% honest in my videos, and all of my reviews are basically done by me purchasing the items and reviewing them without being influenced by the company that I'm reviewing." So I was a little hesitant, but they came back and they said, "Listen, we will grade your cards 100% honestly, and we do not expect anything other than, you just make a video." And I said, well, my review is going to be honest. My review is going to be honest, whether I like the service or not. I'm going to be as honest as I can be. And if you guys are okay with that, then we can proceed. And they said, yes, we want to be honest. We're all about integrity. And I said, cool. So let's go ahead and do it. So here we go. We're going to take a look at both boxes before and after they contacted me. Let's check it out. All right. As you guys can see here, I have 2 boxes. One box is a little bit smaller than the other one. I'm not sure why this one's so big, but it might just be whatever box they had laying around. Guys, this is the box that I had already opened. This was the box from before they reached out to me. This is the box where I was completely anonymous. They had no idea who I was, and they graded my cards. So let's take a look at those first and see what's going on. All right. Now, I did open it. Like I said, I made a video, and that video, unfortunately, I did not ever get to editing it. And I figured, you know what? Why don't we just add, these cards to this particular video? Since it's a review, I might as well do this because, like I said, integrity is important to me, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that these cards were sent in without me making any sort of deal with Degree Grading. And that is not going to influence anything that I talk about here. So, one of the things we have got going on here is the back of the cards. As you can see, they do have this QR code here. All right, we got a QR code here, guys, and then we have Degree, the degreegrading.com, and then scan for subgrades. So basically, you're getting subgrades. They all came sleeved, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Let's flip this guy around and see what we got. All right, so the first card we have is a 10, Gem Mint 10. I do like the label a lot. The slab looks very similar to PSA's slab. It is frosted, and it does have a slight resemblance to it, which, most graded companies kind of have similar slabs, but this one looks pretty good to me. The actual quality of the slab itself looks like it's good. It's a good quality slab. I am not able to break into it, by hand, obviously. There is a little bit of wiggle room there for the card, unfortunately, but that's not really a huge deal as long as you don't go and do what I just did. But there you go. You've got the information there for the card. Like I said, there is that Dedenne 10. Now let's see what's going on here. All right. Second card is a Korean Matchless Fighter Snorlax. This is a gold secret rare, and it is a Degree 8. So it's near mint, and it is a Degree 8. There you go. There's the subgrades. information, and it is it's, you know, that's not a terribly bad grade. I'd have to look to see what you know, what potentially went wrong with this particular card. Just looking it over, I'm seeing it's a little bit of off center, but it's not a huge deal. So there's definitely some, you know, something going on with it somewhere on there. So we'll take a look at the subgrades for that. All right. Third card here is a Professor Burnett. This is a 4, below average. So just to let you guys know, I did actually speak with Degree about this particular card. I was very interested to find out why it got a 4. And they basically said, look, it's part of the algorithm. There is an issue with this card. And the problem with the card is as follows. They actually went into their notes, they looked it up, and they said, okay, there you go. This is the problem that this card has. Now, what they basically told me is that there is a dent in the card, something I didn't see when I sent it in. And I said, okay, well, where is this dent? And they basically told me, well, it's over here in this area. And let me see if I can find it right here. It's very hard to see. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it on the video, but it's hard to see on video. You can definitely see it in person. There's a small pin-sized dent there. Now, because there's a dent, automatically their grade goes down to a certain point, and it can't get any better than that. So that's the reason it got a 4. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it's a 4, but you know, it does have the dent. So I'm probably, in all honesty, going to crack that out of the case and put it into a binder, because I didn't see that dent before. And I will let Degree know that I did so they can remove it off of their website. And then here we have a 10, Reshiram. So got another 10 there. And a 9, Zekrom from Celebrations. So got some pretty decent grades. The one grade that was not very good, and again, that was, you know, I overlooked the dent in that particular card. Oh, there we go. So here we go. We have the second box. This is after they contacted me, and I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. Oh, well, this is very okay. Whoops. Whoop. Okay. Very interesting. So the box does actually come with another box inside. This is actually pretty interesting. They, I guess this is their logo. And it comes in this cool box. Slabs for collectors. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting way of sending out cards. So let's take a look. I like the customized look of this. I feel like they've put some money, some effort into this to make it look nice. Now, the second box, this box came much later on than the, you know, first box that I sent in. So they probably started doing this afterwards. I don't know if this is specifically for content creators that they do this with. I wouldn't be able to speak on that, but let's find out. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so they do come in a nice. There's a foam in here. So actually, that's pretty cool because you can actually store this wherever you want. You can put them right back in, store the box, and if you want to keep that storage, it's you know, it's not bad. All right, so the first card we have is a Pokemon Tai Jolteon. Very cool. So we got a 9. We have Arceus. This is from the video game Legends Arceus. This is the promo, and that also got a 9. Next card is a 2 Fair. Okay, so there has got to be something going on with this particular card. A 2 is very, very low. So I wonder what is going on with that. We're going to have to check it out on their website to see what reason it got a 2 for. But I would assume that it's got some sort of bend or dent or something of the sort in order for it to get such a low number. That's pretty crazy right there. A 2. We got a 9 from Bandai Digimon Double Diamond Agumon. It's a cool looking card. And another Digimon card I sent in. This is an 8. So this is Agumon also. This is the parallel version of the card right here. And this is a regular one. So very cool looking cards. Again, very interesting grading style that they have. I do like the label. I like the slab. The slab is, it's a decent slab. I do like the packaging that they used here. Again, I do not know if this is only for content creators that they do this with, or if they're doing this now for all of their orders. If they're doing it for all of their orders, I think it's really, really cool. I think this is definitely a nice touch, and could definitely set them apart from other grading companies. Just like it's a nice just you could it's so nice, but you can't put. Okay, here we go. We can put it back together. There it is. So it does look good. Again, you can use this as a storage and also a nice little decoration piece, perhaps. So not bad. Like I said, before and afters. Now, as you can see, they did give me a 2 here. I have to admit, if they were willing to give me a 2, then they are definitely about integrity, because they knew I was going to make a video. And the fact that I actually got a 2 on one of these cards kind of just shows that they're, interested in actually grading the cards as they should be. I actually have to give them some credit for that. As far as I can tell, this is a decent company. They are making some, they've got some good prices. All right, guys, I looked up the card that we got a 2 on and wanted to find out why. So just to give you guys a little bit of information on here, basically you can do a card lookup with the number, or you can scan it. But basically, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to show it right here on the screen so you guys can see it. Now, basically what you've got is the certification number here. You've got the grade it got, along with the year, the set, the player name or the card name, and then the card number, and then you have the grading system that they use, which is they got a 2 out of 3, corners and edges 2 out of 3, and centering 2 out of 3, and then you have creases and dents. Yes, there are creases and dents, or a crease and a dent, and then they subtract 4 points for that right out of the gate. 4 points subtracted, plus whatever other points you get subtracted for whatever the card may have other than the dent or the crease. And then they do give you some additional notes, which is good because it tells you exactly why they gave you that grade. Now, it does say that there's a dent line on the back of the card on the top left border. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to take it out of here, and we are going to take a look to see what we're talking about here. All right, we have a dent line on the back of the card on the top left corner. And I'm trying to see if I could see what they're talking about. In fact, there it is. And indeed, there is. And I think you could probably see it right there. Right there. There is an actual dent on the corner of that card. Very close to the corner. Something that's very easy to miss if you're not a professional, or if you don't have the right tools in order to look that stuff up. Now, there also is a 2 pin dents on the back of the card on the left border. So basically 2 pin dents. Let's take a look and see where these on the left border, 2 pin dents. Huh. Indeed. Okay, so there is actually one right over here. It's very small, but there is definitely one there. And I'm trying to see if I can find the other one. Indeed. There is another pin dent right there. And so I've now found the 2 dents that they're actually talking about, or the 3 dents that they're actually talking about. And that explains why we have a 2 for this card. So they're actually very, very meticulous. It looks like they're looking at cards at a whole nother level than some of the other grading companies, because in all honesty, I didn't see any of those dents. Now, I also didn't look at these cards with a magnifying glass, which I have been doing very recently. In fact, I did get some cards graded with another company, and I got a whole bunch of 10s from that one because I was looking at those cards with a magnifying glass with right lighting, and it's very important that you do that when you're going to send cards in to get graded. Otherwise, you're going to come back and you're going to get something like this, which is a 2. This is, it's just not a good grade. Now, I'm going to show you guys the algorithm and how it works. So let's take a look at that. All right. So as you can see, it says earn your points, use degree algorithm to score your cards. The degree algorithm analyzes the core elements of the card's physical condition, combines their scores into a final grade. And as we can see here, we have multiple grades, basically going all the way to 11, which is very interesting. You normally don't see 11 as a grade, but here we go. We have 11, which is perfect. You have 10, which is gem mint. You've got 9, which is a mint. 8, near mint, mint. And then you have 7, which is near mint. 6, which is an XLNT, which would be excellent. You have 5, which is average. 4, which is below average. And then you have 3, which is good. 2, which is fair. 1, poor. And 0, rest in peace. I do actually like the 0. I like the rest in peace there. That's actually quite funny. Hopefully nobody gets that, but it's out there, so you could get a rest in peace. How it works: you can earn 0 to 3 points for each category: surface, corners, edges, and centering. And then each category moves on a sliding scale based on its condition. This ranges from 100% flawless to 0% destroyed. Example, on the left hand side, you've got corners, edges, 100%, 3 points. And then on the right, you have corners and edges 7%, 0 points. The sum total of all of your subgrades equal the final grade of your card. So, for example, surface 78% gives you 2 points, corners, edges 99% give you 3 points, centering 86% gives you 2 points, creases or dents, none, you get plus 1 point, and then you end up with the degree 8 score for that. Grading breakdown: 0 to 3 points for surface. You get 3 points for 100 to 97%, which basically means it's flawless, no scratches, stains, fading, or defects. 2 points minimal surface damage, scratches, stains, fading, defects. 1 point for moderate, and then 0 points for heavy. If you're looking at the corners, same, crisp corners, flawless design, edges, all of that stuff, it gives you 3 points. And of course, heavy, corner whitening, phrase, that sort of stuff gives you 0 points. Centering, 53, 47 centering, front and back will give you the maximum points, 3 points. And then they go down from there. And then you have creases or no creases. If the card has no creases, no dents, then you get a plus 1 point, which is cool. Yay. If you do have a crease, you get minus 4 points. Card that has a crease or dent, no matter the severity, will result in a loss of 4 points. So if it's a tiny tiny dent, it will still give you -4 points. If it has a large dent, you still get -4 points. Now, I don't personally like that because it's much harder to see a very tiny little dent on a card. The visibility on that is very small, especially once you put it in a slab. It's even less visible than before, but that's just the way they grade the thing. So, I mean, it is what it is, but you could definitely end up with -4 points right out of the gate if there is a dent or crease. So as you can see, you know, a degree 11 basically means scores 100% in all categories. Everything is perfect, flawless, awesome. And a 0 means that it scores 4 or less total points in all categories and is deducted points for having a crease or a dent. So basically, that's your system right there for the grading. I do like that they have the breakdown here. Am I a fan of the fact that there's, you know, 11 grades, or should we say there's actually, you know, 12 grades because there's a 0 through 11. It's kind of strange, but I guess the 11 would be the equivalent of, say, a black label for Beckett. But there you go. That's how they grade their cards. I do like that they're very transparent with their algorithm. They're very transparent with how they do their grading, and they put the notes on the website so you can see where your card has an issue. So I am actually pretty happy that they're doing that. Now, they did get some feedback from me here because I was very interested in finding out why I got a 4 on this particular card. And they came back and they said, well, check out the website. There's some notes on there. There should be some notes on there. And indeed, I looked and they did have the notes. And as soon as I saw the notes and I looked to see where the issue was on the card, I was able to find it. And now I feel like, okay, it is justified. It's not just a random number that they picked because they didn't like certain things on the card. And then I have to sit here and try and figure out where it is. The fact that it's detailed and it says, hey, the issue you have is on the back, on the left-hand corner or on the left-hand side. That is actually very valuable information for me because now I can determine what I want to do with this card and figure out why it actually got the grade it got. So I actually like the service. I think it's they're doing a good job with this stuff. I like the fact that they're very detailed and meticulous about the cards that they're grading. I think that's a good thing. Is it tougher to get a good grade? It seems that way. Didn't get very many 10s. In fact, in this latest one, I didn't get any 10s at all. So I was expecting this Pikachu to come back with a lower grade because I knew that it wasn't in perfect condition. Though I did not expect it to come back as a 2. Although now I see why it came back as a 2. So there you have it, guys. Degree grading. Do I recommend them? They are a smaller company. They are new. The prices are very good. In fact, just to give you a little bit of information here on their pricing, for a first-time submission, they will do a 5-card submission for $50. That's $10 a card. That's actually really good. 30-day turnaround. They actually did get the cards to me within 30 days. So very good. And it's got a $500 max declared value per card. So that's actually not bad. For the fact that it's $10 a card, that's not terribly bad. Then you've got the regular submissions. Normally, their standard is $20 per card, which is to say, after your first submission, that's the price that you would normally pay, $20 per card. And then if you do bulk, basically it's $15 a card, and there's a 20 card minimum. 20 cards isn't really a lot, so you can take advantage of the bulk fairly easily. And there's a 30 to 60 day turnaround depending on how many cards you send in and how many cards they've got to grade over there. But it's very simple price points. It's not a lot of fluff. You basically pay for what you send in, and there's no add-ons to this. They give you all of the information. You're not paying extra for the subgrades. You're not paying extra for anything else. You're just paying the flat fee for the cards, and I think that's a fantastic thing. I want to thank you guys for watching. I do recommend a Degree if you are looking to get some cards graded at a decently price, or at a decent price. I do recommend Degree grading for that. Just always keep in mind that there are a lot of grading companies out there. There are newer ones coming out all the time, and Degree grading not being one of the big three, they are certainly doing things right in my opinion, and I do hope and wish them the very best. Alright guys, make sure you go check out this video right over here. It's another awesome return. I'll see you guys in the next one.